G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to try a fairy flower with puddle paws and metallic gold pigment powder in the actual pour. And then I'm going to add my white dots. And then I'm going to add a push, but it's not going to be white. It's not going to be clear. It's going to be black with black ink. So stick around. Let's see how it works, okay? So I have got, this is the rest of my clear. I'm using the Platinum Super Clear. I really like it. It's like, kind of like a medium viscosity resin. And I'm using my Cascade mold. I have got it up on the little trivet here, just to get it up off the ground to get some airflow underneath so it doesn't flash cure. Especially if you're in like a warmer climate, you might want to do that. But it's quite a deep mold, and you know, the deeper you pouring your resin, if it's not a deep pour resin, it can flash cure a little bit faster than you might want to. So for the Cascade mold, it takes about 200 grams. I've mixed up 150 of A, 65 grams of B, and that's a 215. So if I've got a little bit left over, that's fine. And there's always some that gets left in the cups. So in my little cup here, I've got some of my Bloom white pigment paste. It's probably about a quarter full. These two here are about a third full. I've got some quinacridone crimson and some shadow green. I wanted dark colors because I really want the gold to stand out and then the black to make those striations. Look, I don't know if it's going to work. These are by Holbein. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to try it. And I wasn't going to video it, and I thought, oh, I better in case it works. And then this one here, haven't got quite as much resin in there. It's probably only about an eighth of a cup. I'm going to put a little bit of this gold. It's by Pearlex. It's called Brilliant Gold. And we'll just do about that. About that. Mix that in. I guess it'll be, oh well, I'm not quite sure what it's going to be, but maybe a slightly transparent, not too opaque, because the gold metallic mica powder can really take over. Now it's a metallic mica powder, it's not a metal powder. There's a difference. The metal powders are the ones that sort of float on top, and they have that like a big puddle of gold on the top. So that's the metal powder. It's different to the mica powder. So just so that you're aware, this is the mica powder. Now I am going to stir that again in a minute. It's really important that you mix all your mica powder up, because you can get a little bit stuck on the bottom of your cup, and if you don't mix it all up properly, then you can get little flicks of powder, which kind of spoils the look. I'll get some of those bubbles out. So I'll just pour this white resin into my little piping bag here, because I'm going to pipe some dots. I've been doing the Fantasy Flower lately, which is, I think, so much easier. It's just spirals. You don't have to worry about dots and how big to make them and all that kind of thing. But I'm going back to the traditional fairy here. I think all the techniques, all the different flower designs are really pretty. The Larimar, the dragon, the fairy, the fantasy, what else is there? Windflower. There's quite a lot, and they're all been designed by Micah from resincourses.com. So even though this is not one of Micah's traditional recipes or pours, it's definitely inspired by Micah, so definitely going to give her credit for it. And I will link her website and a coupon code for you for 10% off down in my description. All right, so I've got all these stirred up. Now what I want to do is I want to pour probably half of that in there, and then half of that in there, and then half of that in there. Try not to drip everywhere. And then again the other half That's probably a bit more than a half. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do 2 layers, okay? Because if I just do 1 layer of resin, the colour, the bottom, like the first one, just all gets pushed to the sides and you just don't see it. That's why I thought if I pour in layers, we've got more chance of actually seeing the different colours. What do you reckon? I think that makes sense. Probably should have done 3 little layers actually, because my first layer wasn't very big and now my second layers are much bigger. Much bigger. All right, and then the gold. Finish that off with the gold. And I'll probably experiment with this and see what it's like finishing with a different colour at the end. But my reasoning is I'm going to do a black push at the end, and I think the black against the gold will look nice as well. So there we go. How's that looking? Oh, like a big pond. But you can see on the edges there that the gold, the mica is kind of doing its thing. Oh, actually I should do this first, shouldn't I? This is also the Holbein black ink, and I'm just going to do, oh gosh, spat at me. We'll just do 1 drop. See how that goes. Yep, that's fine. That's perfect. I'm stuck. All right, a bit messy. I should, it's the shaking of it that makes a big bubble at the end. Okay, this is getting a bit warm. Now with the Platinum Super Clear, like I said, it's a medium viscosity resin. If you're using a really thin resin, your white dots are going to hit the bottom and go splat. Okay, so you're going to have like these really thin, flat looking petals. If you wait, I waited 10 minutes before I started decanting, and then I waited it took me like another 5 minutes to mix my colors and start the video. So it was sitting for 15 minutes before I started pouring it into the mold, and that just allows the resin to thicken a little bit, and that allows my white dots to stay suspended in the resin and hopefully become nice and thick and puffy. I'm just going to snip the top off rather than just hitting the bottom of the mold and going flat. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, here we go. Oops, hang on. Oh, I thought I was going to do my spiral because I start in the middle with the spiral, but nope. Just need to wipe that off. It's getting a bit drippy. If you sort of hold your bag horizontally, it tends not to drip so much. I did probably make my hole a little bit bigger. I haven't done a traditional fairy flower with dots for so long. I've been doing my fantasy flower and that's got spirals, and I just pour straight out of the cup. It's so easy. I will link one of my fantasy flowers towards the end of the video if you want to see how that works. Like I said, it's much easier. I find it much easier. Yeah, you're just pouring spirals. It's the same white. It's the same amount of resin I use. It's the same amount of white drops I use. And I just pour a spiral. But you do get, I guess, slightly different effect. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm loving the edges. Look what it's doing. Can you see what it's doing? Hope it's going to work. And then after my resin has been sitting for about probably 40 minutes from the time that I stopped stirring, that's when I go in and probably suck some out of the middle, because I don't want a big white blob and I don't want an empty abyss, a big space in the middle. So I go in after about 40 minutes after I stop stirring, total time, and suck some out with my syringe. And that's what I've been doing lately. I do have, like, you guys probably haven't seen that, or you may have seen that. I have videos from like probably a month ago that I did that I haven't put up yet. I've got so many videos. I put one up a day, but I've still got heaps to put up. So what I'm talking about now, sorry about that. My battery went flat and I didn't know. I was chatting away to you and you weren't there. So I finished my dots. I poured in the black that I said I was going to do. Now I'm going to shine a torch in. Look away if you don't like flashing lights. Flashlight, torch, whatever you want to call it. Now, see in there, this is about 15 minutes after I stopped videoing. It's still a big white or clear blob in the middle, but you can see on the edges there that we've got some weird puffy stuff happening. Okay, so I'm going to wait another 5 minutes. I mean, it looks very dark like that, and you might be saying to yourself, oh gosh, I can't see if it's closed or not. Just shine into the center and that'll tell you. So the other thing, if the top has closed over and you literally can't see what's going on there, dip your finger into a little container of isopropyl, carry 1 drop over and let it drop right in the middle, and that will spread, and you'll be able to then get your flashlight and have a look in the middle. Okay, so do that. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes because I can see that it's slowly closing up, but I want it to close all the way. So this is what we need to do. We need to wait probably about 20 minutes for the Art Pro, not the Art Pro, for the Super Clear. It's about 20 minutes after you finished pouring. So probably 45 minutes from the time that you've stopped stirring. And then we're going to suck some out. Okay. All right. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been another 5 minutes and I've had my phone on charge. Here we go again with the light. And you can see that it has closed up a little bit more. It's a little hole there still, so we'll just suck some of that center out and close it up. And like truly, it's the easiest way to get your center to close up. And you don't have to worry about a big white blob in the center or a big empty blob in the center. Yeah, I just find it's really easy. But there are, like I said, a couple of things that you need to do. You need to wait until everything's closed as much as it can. Don't do it when your resin's just been, like you've just done your push. Wait until it's still obviously soft. Ages ago, I went to do this to check it, and it was rock hard in the middle. I thought, okay, can't do that. Now, you're not going to be able to see really what's going on because it's a dark center, and I really want to put the syringe in straight like that, because if I do it on an angle, it's going to suck the side in. So excuse my hand, and I'm just going to pop this down as close to the base of the mold as I can, because you want the bottom to close. So that's pretty much, actually has got a little bit of gold in it. Squirt that out. You can keep that, make a little pendant or something out of it. All right, let's, oh gosh, you can't see, can you? Can it come down? The things I do for you guys, hope you appreciate it, hey? Look at me, getting you down. All right, here we go. Shining the torch again, look away if you don't want to see bright lights. Okay, so there we go. It's got a tiny little gap there still, but pretty much it's looking good. So I'm going to do one more syringe suck, and hopefully that will be enough. So again, get the tip of the syringe as low as you can, close to the mold as you can. It really doesn't want to suck anymore because it's getting thick. Try and do it gently. Okay, so there, see that now? You can see there's gold coming out, and that gold was the last, oh, it's warm. The gold was the last color that I put in, so it makes sense that I'm getting gold out now. So you do want to take out a bit of that gold, otherwise you're still going to have a big gold center. Just want to see a tiny bit more. Yeah, it's still all gold. All right, hopefully that'll do. I could make a nice little pendant out of that, a gold and black pendant. Right, torch again. I'm not going to bring you down because my hands have got resin on them now. Ooh, ooh. I will show you in a minute once I take my gloves off. But I can see now. I can actually see different. I can see the red. So yes, all right, so that's going to be it. That was like 2.5 syringes, I guess. All right, And now my mold isn't too full. You have to make sure that you've allowed a little bit of extra resin. You know, make sure it's full, because you are going to take probably maybe an ounce out of it. Don't just take out one syringe. You're going to need like a few, 2 or 3. Mine was about to overflow after I poured the black, so I actually took a bit more out, but it didn't make any difference to what this is actually doing at the moment. You need to wait until it's you need to wait until it's starting to go thick and stop moving before you do your suck. Otherwise, it's still really runny and fluid, and it's just going to run back again. So, yeah, just wait. All right, torch again, look away. Look you guys, can you see the difference? You can actually see some of that pink, a little bit of green. We've got the gold, you can see the white. So keep sucking, so to speak, until you can see all those colors coming into the middle, and then you know that you're not going to have a big white center. Well, cross fingers that you're not. All right. Oh my gosh, that was an effort. All right, I'll see you all for the unmolding real soon. Okay, it has cured enough for me to unmold. Hasn't really changed much from when I showed it to you last. I don't think it has. After I did the suck. Tips are still a bit bendy. I haven't put it in the curing machine. I've just left it out this afternoon. But I thought, oh, I'll have a look at it before bed and see if it's worked. I'm really excited to see if doing this has worked, but I am worried that the back's just going to be, or the other side's just going to be like all gold. So that's my concern. All gold. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. It worked, you guys. That is so pretty. Look at the gorgeous petals. So I've basically got 3 colors. We've got this sort of greeny, tealy, I don't know what you would call that. It's a combination of green and purple. It's kind of like a teal. I don't know if you can see what I can see, but it's I mean the green, let me show you the green. See, the green is this shade anyway. Like, it's not a bright green. I didn't want a bright green. So it is still there. It hasn't really changed a lot. So that's the green. And then obviously the pinky tone is the crimson with the white mixed in with it. And then we've got the gold in the middle. That is so cool. Well, I'm glad it's worked. Wow. It's like a little starburst of its own, isn't it? Bursting out of the center like that. Oh, I'm really happy with it. All right. I'll put it down there so that I can pick it up easily once I've got my camera. Because then I can just do that. Because it's a little bit soft still. It's going to stick. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, over here. Let's have another look at the, I think it's, which way would it go? Maybe that way? That way? Maybe. Go for a little walk with it. See, when you walk over this way, I've got the big LED strip light above me. So it really picks up that gold shimmer, doesn't it? Look at that. That's super cool. Isn't it funny though? Like, you look at the center where the gold is, and the petals are pretty much just straight. And then you get to these pink ones here, and they're more puffy and like 3D looking. And then of course you get to the edge of the cascade mold, and then that's just a design on its own. So you're getting, you know, it's 3 different looks. Look, there's a little bit of gold on the edge there. But look at those petals. Oh my gosh. That is just divine. I think it's divine anyway. Look at the way the gold's shining. It's so pretty. Very happy with it. Very happy with it. Can't complain. All right, back around here. I'll just walk around the back of the desk table as I usually do and show you in another light, like so. If I can get another light for you without too much glare. Oh, it's tricky, because there's all these ring lights around. But yeah, it looks really pretty. Happy with it. Really happy with it. I ought to stand over here. So there you go. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. See, there's lots of things you can do with this one recipe, and then you just change a few things. You know, you change the order of your pour. Instead of pouring into like layers into a cup, I did the puddle pours today. 2 layers of puddle pours, which is, I think, worked really nicely. I still did get the 3. I got the one colour there, the one colour there, and the one colour there. Even though I did 2 layers of everything, I've still only basically got one of each colour, really. But that's cool. I think it's worked out really pretty. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my video. Have a go. It's only resin. All right. Thanks again. I'll see you real soon for the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.